So first things first, you're gonna want to document the requirements for a new contract, which means you're gonna have to write down and explain everything that needs to be done, and obviously include a budget in that, and describe when it needs to be done, like what the due dates are. Uh, and this is gonna be what the client and stakeholders' needs are. So you're gonna have to make this document based on what your client and stakeholder wants. So make sure the dates all line up, make sure it's just within their criteria. And then you're gonna wanna explain how you're going to be selecting a vendor. You don't wanna just choose any old vendor. You're gonna wanna explain like what your criteria is to get these vendors. And then you're gonna want to request some proposals from maybe some possible suppliers or vendors that you reach out to. And to keep things more organized, you're gonna want to format it into a statement of work, and the statement of work will have all the due dates, all the work that needs to be done, any changes, just to have everything organized into that document. And then you're going to want to hold some meetings with some possible vendors ahead of time so you can get things kind of start to get going. You're gonna want to let the vendors know that there's something important coming, or you have a project coming up, just so everyone could be prepared. You're also gonna want to make sure that all possible vendors have a fair shot at this, so but then at the end of the day, you're gonna have to be able to select the vendors based on the criteria that was already set prior. And then the next step would obviously be to start to create the proposals. Use the information provided by the buyers and purchasers. Make sure that it addresses all the requirements. That's the important part about creating a proposal. You're gonna have to make sure that you highlight how the proposal stands out. And that would be make sure it stands out based on what the needs of the client is and the stakeholder, and maybe even as the project manager, if the vendor fits your needs the best, as long as it benefits the overall project. And then you're gonna have to choose a vendor, and you have to be using the selection criteria that was set at the beginning, because that's what everyone agreed on in the beginning. You can't start changing things on your own. You have to stick to that. And then you're going to want to make sure you have multiple proposals, because you're going to have to be comparing them, side by side, to make sure you're getting the best deal. Or just make sure, not even just the best deal, just make sure you're getting make sure they have the right selection criteria, make sure you're selecting them for the right reasons. And then once you do that and you make your decision and everyone's on board, you're going to want to draft up a final contract, something that's in paper, something that's in writing, so you can make sure that both parties have an agreement. And that would be it.